Soul Symbols. My name is Shelly. I'm a writer, an astrologer, and a card reader, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Happy Friday. I'm going to try to have this out on Friday. I'm going to post this a day early. I really appreciate everyone letting me have a break last week. I was feeling a little run down. I was just a little low energy, and again, I always try to give these readings all of my focus. So, you know, it's where I live, it's holiday time, and it's been very busy. So I appreciate the week off. And but I'm gonna try to, as a treat to you, I'm gonna go ahead and post this a day early since we missed last week. And also just a quick announcement, next week, December 25th, is going to be the last weekly energy card reading. So just to give a heads up, I'm not going to be filming any videos for any of my channels in the month of January 2022. I'm going to kind of take a sabbatical. I'm going to take some time off, and it's been a long road. I've enjoyed every single minute of the journey, but I do think I need to take a break and take some time to myself. So I'm just not gonna do any filming. I'm just gonna do whatever I feel like doing for the month of January. But I just want to let everyone know that I am so grateful for all of my followers. I'm not going away completely. I will come back and do videos periodically, but it just won't be weekly. It might be once a month or every once in a while, but all of the content will remain on my channel. If you want to check out the How to Tarots, if you want to check out any of the other readings that we have here, that they will still be available. And I will, again, I'm not going away completely. I will continue to post content periodically on this channel. But so what we have is, as always, we have 3 tarot decks. It does not need to be the week of December 18th through December 25th, 2021 in order for the messages to resonate. If you come across this video at any time, there might be messages contained for you. In card reading, we have a saying, we say, take what resonates and leave the rest. So if a message is not jiving, if you just don't feel like it's gelling, if it doesn't sound like your story, you don't have to take it. It might be a message meant for someone else. And you can always either check out another pile or check out another video, or absolutely check out another reader. There's so many wonderful readers here on YouTube, and actually we're going to be talking about that a lot more next week. But as always, I like to keep the decks in rotation. These are 3 decks we have not seen in a while. The first deck is the first deck that I've ever purchased, ever, like ever, and it also has my first stone that I've ever purchased, ever. So, and that is the Tarot of Art Nouveau by Scarabeo, and on top of it we have a beautiful double-pointed amethyst. And this was purchased by in a little shop here in the state that I live. It's called the Crystal Fox, and this has just such good energy. It's the very first stone. I bought it with my deck to cleanse my deck, and many moons ago. So this is always that I like to make that the first pile. Maybe it's because my first deck. I don't know. There's a sentimentality there. The second deck is a beautiful deck, and this is the Slow Tarot by Lacey Bryant. And on top of it, we have a beautiful, oh my gosh, what is this? This is a bloodstone, which is very cleansing. It's such a powerful stone, and it's so pretty. The lighting doesn't do it justice. It's a beautiful gradient of browns and greens. But it's a gorgeous deck, and this deck is actually created by a Southern California artist who painted all 78 cards. There's actually 2 world cards in this deck, and the link to purchase the deck is actually in the description box, as is the name and the authors of all of the decks that I use in this reading. The last deck is the Tattoo Tarot Inked in Intuition, and on top of it we have a beautiful cherry volcanic quartz. And to clarify today, it's been a while. This is such a gorgeous deck. I use it on the daily for myself, but we're going to go ahead and clarify the read using the Animal Spirit Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid, and on top of it we have a beautiful piece of raw rose quartz. Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and I will let you choose your pile. As always, if you need more time, please pause the video. Please choose from your intuition. and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, we're back. Let me go ahead and move the other decks up. All right. Ooh, alrighty then. Seeing a lot of twos lately. I don't know if I feel like a lot of people are doing like at a crossroads. Oh, I just saw one of those beautiful world cards. You know, both there's two world cards in that deck, the slow tarot, and they're both gorgeous. Both gorgeous. Completely, this is such a talented artist. And actually, if you ever want to follow Lacey Bryant, she is on Facebook, she is on Instagram, and she does beautiful work. She actually contributes. She carves statues for Chinese New Year. So like last year, she helped create with other local Southern California artists. She created a bunch of Taurus, like bull, for the year of the bull. And she's actually working on tigers right now because next year is going to be the year of the tigers. So if you want something fun to check out in the month of January, definitely, you know, follow and check out her ooh, temperance. Okay, we're already getting, I'm sorry. I'll shuffle that back in just because I'm talking and I don't want to pull cards based on that energy. All right, so deck number one, the Tarot Art Nouveau. What is our energy? Deck number one, what's our energy for the week, please? Beginning of the week. Okay, we got two cards. No. Wow. There's a lot of swords. That's interesting. This is the only Hanged Man that I've seen a lot of swords in, but we'll get into it. Middle of the week for pile one, please. Ooh, we have a flipper. And end of the week. Okay, that came out in the reverse. Can I get one clarifier for the fire? Can I get one clarifier? And that temperance card. Okay, so, and we have the world. We were talking a lot about the world. I wonder if that's going to be our common denominator energy for the week. All right, so I love this deck. I use it for myself a lot, but this is the Spirit Animal Oracle, and this is such a gorgeous deck. And again, all the names and the authors are in the description box. Let's go ahead and deck number one, pile number one, not pile, deck number one, sorry, I'll get my verbiage right. Be fearless and be bold, Badger Spirit. All right, guys. I wonder if you're a Harry Potter fan, I wonder if we have any Hufflepuffs in the house. If so, represent, knuckle tap. I am a Huffy and proud. I've taken the test like 4 times. And it's funny, you know, back when it was first, like, it used to be nerdly. It used to be, like, uncouth and uncool to be a Hufflepuff. It is totally complete bomb badass to be a Hufflepuff now. Like, I am a Newt Scamander fan, for sure. All right. Okay, I'll stop laughing. But that just might be something that's coming out. Very hardworking and loyal and steadfast and beautiful. It's beautiful energy, your house, if that applies to you. All right, guys, so beginning of the week, we got the Three of Swords and we got the Hanged Man. And again, what's interesting about this Hanged Man is look at all those swords. He's like, you see how he's hanging upside down, and he almost looks like he's in an Iron Maiden. He almost looks like he has all these, you know, it's funny. And actually, in this imagery, he's got like 5 swords on either side. It's like 10 swords, but he's unfazed. It's interesting, guys. I'm just going to come out and say it, and I don't like to deliver these messages, but you know, if I'm feeling it, I'm going to say it. I got to say it. Here I'm kind of seeing, especially with this deck, the way that it looks like 2 women. You see how one woman looks very sincere and the other one looks a little bit like, yeah, you know, this other woman looks like she's looking down at the one person, and it looks a little superficial. I think that you might have a little backstabbing going on, and it's possibly with a female friend. If you're a woman watching this could be with a female friend. The other thing I get is, yeah, the Hermit. One thing that I'm kind of getting with this is that it's completely normal in friendships and relationships to kind of, I always feel like friendships, if you can kind of see my hands, they kind of go like this. You come together, and then for a while you kind of drift apart, and then you kind of come together, and then you drift apart. And all of my best friends, after decades, and I am decades old, after decades of being friends, there are times in their life where we're busy, or there are times that we disagree about things, and sometimes we kind of part ways, but then good friendships always grow kind of back together. It's almost like you're two flowers that are growing in kind of a weaving pattern, right? There are times that you're more close together, and then there's times you're more far apart. So this could also mean that maybe you're experiencing one of those distance periods. Maybe you're disagreeing with someone. The other thing is that this kind of looks like one person thinks that this is kind of looking like one person kind of thinks they're better. Or that just the expressions on these two women's faces are just so, they have so much dimension. There's such, you can get a whole story from that expression on their face. But I do kind of feel like one person kind of feels a little bit more smug, or I do kind of think that there might be one person who's acting kind of haughty, like acting kind of like their poop don't stink, or you might have a friend who might actually be feeling like they're better than you, or that they know what's right and you don't. And you might be a little worried about that. Like, I really get the feeling like you're the one who's sitting down. Like, you feel a little hurt by it, right? The other thing is that if you've ever, and there's plenty of teen movies, if you could probably pick any teen movie from any decade where, two people have a falling out, where, what I'm almost feeling? This energy almost feels like one. You know how you have a bestie, like you have a friend, and she starts hanging out with like a new clique, and then she starts treating you like crap, and you're hurt, right? And that's what the Three of Swords is about. It's like a third party, like someone taking someone away from you. But what I see here is with the Hanged Man energy, you are the Hanged Man is a major arcana. And it's almost like you are this wise old man. You see how the expression is almost kind of similar, the look on their face? I think you're a very mature soul, pile one. I think that maybe that something's going on. Maybe, and believe me, these are like tides in the ocean. Sometimes we have close friendships to someone, and someone might side against you, and it might hurt your feelings, right? Either that, or I'm getting like a cliquish vibe. You feel like someone is kind of going against you, and I get that with the swords poking at you. It's almost like, like even your own best friend is giving you, siding with the clique, and then giving you crap, or because swords represent judgment, right? They represent thoughts. They represent, it can be social media, like it can be posts. So maybe you feel like, I'm getting like an et tu brute, like a Caesar. How Caesar got stabbed in the back and by like one of his best friends, and he was just like, "You too, Brutus? Like, seriously, you're joining the crowd?" So maybe something is going on, and believe me, this can be on a very low level, because this is a weekly reading, so it's not like, excuse me, I'm sorry, I got a hiccup. This does not need to be, that almost feels like a confirmation there. This does not need to be anything real major. Like, it just stings. That's what the Three of Swords does. It stings. And it usually means some kind of third-party interference. So maybe the other thing is with all these swords, maybe someone is led to believe that you did something that you didn't do. But the beautiful thing about the Hanged Man energy is, I think that you are of the wisdom, pile one, where you're not gonna give into gossip. I have a favorite saying. I always say I'd rather be a rumor than start one. Come at me, bro. Seriously, if you want to go around and talk trash about me, you don't know me very well. Get your facts straight, and it doesn't mean that I'm always right, but I'll admit when I'm wrong. So, but here I just kind of feel like, I feel like you're not taking any action. And that's sourcing from a really deep-rooted maturity in you, pile one. Like maybe you're waiting for this to blow over, but I do feel like you're getting some kind of like this person's looking down at her, right? So I almost get the feeling like I do get the feeling like you're being either talked about, or I'm almost getting a little bit of cancel culture here, guys. Maybe someone's trying to withdraw their support and they're trying to do it. I get that there's at least three people here, and one of the persons is not present. The third person, the other thing that, and that gets really shady as AF, as also is that when there's three swords but the third person's nowhere to be seen, you know, but the other person, you know, the second person in this scenario is just going with them, right? You know, there are plenty of, I always call it pick a little, talk a little. If you've ever seen the musical The Music Man, Marion Peru had a horrible reputation, even though she was the most chaste, intelligent person in that whole town. All of the women talked about her. All of the women thought that this was going on, that was going on. But here I get like almost the same thing. Like you feel a little persecuted, but you're not gonna take any action. It's uncomfortable what's being said about you, but you're not gonna take any action. You're gonna let it blow over. If it involves one of the friends of yours. The other thing I'm getting is that, you know, anytime one of your friends joins the clique against you, it makes you think, right? That's the other thing about the hangman. It kind of makes you think, okay, is this person a real friend, or are they just being negatively influenced right now? Can I trust them or can I not? But I do see a great maturity with you guys in the beginning of the week. And this is over the weekend and into the beginning of the week, where you really do feel, I do feel like there might be a little bit of, you know, pick a little, talk a little. You know, people might be, I'll even post that video. It's a fun, the original is a cool song. But you've got a lot of people talking stuff, but you're not gonna fight back. You're gonna let it blow over, because you also know that this is just fodder. This is just you know how people, they get into their little gossipy moods. But I do think that there might be someone that this might kind of sting, because I think you might have a friend, or someone that you thought was a friend was, I'm almost getting fake friend. And you know what? I do think this is someone that you trust. I do think that I'm getting a strong sense this is someone that you trust, but they're just kind of, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid or going along with the crowd. And you might want to question that a little bit. Like, okay, would your true friend ever talk trash about you? You know? But that's the Three of Swords for you. It stings. Now, by the middle of the week, you got the Knave of Coins. This is really beautiful energy, guys. I'm getting a real grounded energy from you, pile one. You don't, even though it hurts, when you fall down, you don't stay down. And so the Knave of Pentacles is really beautiful. I really kind of like this rendition of it, because normally the page is like a child holding up a coin, looking all wide-eyed and innocent. This man is kind of holding up a coin, just kind of like Vogue, like I'm hearing like Madonna, strike a pose, you know, like, okay, you know what I'm hearing, talk to the coin. Talk to the coin. And the thing about pentacles is pentacles don't necessarily have to be money. They're things that you value. They're also principles. They're principles. Things that you value are principles, right? They're scruples. If you know that makes sense. It's your inner integrity. So by the middle of the week, and again, this is still a page. It's a knave. So you're not a king. You're not a queen. But it's almost like you're kind of like you're sticking to what you value. Right? So if all the world is talking about you and that is not your scene, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to ignore the rest of you and I'm going to dig into what is of value to me. And it might seem kind of innocent. It might seem a little naive. It might look a little childish. right? Like I'll even tell you, it's funny this week last week I was really kind of tired, really tired, and I started sending out Christmas cards, and with every single Christmas card I did some kind of paper craft. Really relaxes me when I since world events, since the pandemic has rolled in, I haven't made cards, but this year I purchased cards, but inside of every card I did some kind of paper craft thing, whether it was origami or I made a paper ornament for someone, and that felt so cathartic. Like it was relaxing, it was quiet. No one was texting me, no one was calling me. I was in my own head. I was folding paper or gluing or cutting or coloring. And that seems so childish, but it makes you feel so grounded, right? And again, it's almost like when the world is coming at you with all of their opinions, you know, I'm sorry, Mystic Moon. I'm hearing that quote from Mystic Moon, who is another really great reader here. Very popular, has a lot of followers, but she always goes, and she's not the first person to say it. And this channel's over 18, so I'm allowed to say it. But opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, And not to be crude, this channel's over 18, and I don't mean to be blunt or rude or crude, but it is like that. Sometimes the world is ridiculous. Sometimes everyone who's pick a little, talk a little, they're puffed up, they're full of their own opinions, they think they're right. Go off by yourself and do whatever physical activity, make something with your hands, make money, or value what you value. This could also be something physical, like, this could be, I am seeing two eagles, which are kind of representative of Scorpio, which is more of a water element, and this is an earth sign. The other thing I am kind of seeing is, I've never noticed this before, but you see on the little jar, it looks like he's got a dinosaur chasing after him. I think you're ignoring the world. I think you're ignoring all this crap. I do think pile one, I really feel like you have like a verbal, you got people talking trash and you don't give an F. Like you're just gonna go do your thing, and it might seem, the other thing is it seems a little childish. Like it might seem kind of like, but you're just doing your thing. And it's all, I'm getting a strong Mary in Peru. Like you're just gonna go back to your books, or you're gonna go back to whatever it is you value. And it's going to be on a very small scale. It's almost going to be like a child, but that's what you enjoy, right? One other thing is that if this is a child, and it doesn't really seem like it because in this card, this is so, we got the Hermit again. Yeah, I just really feel like you're pulling in within yourself. The Hangman and the Hermit are the two most introspective cards of the major arcana. So, I just feel like you're really, and actually, this is beautiful, guys. This is a great bridge. At the end of the week, this card came out very decidedly, came out very clearly in the reverse. And this is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is being ostracized. The Five of Cups is being out in the cold. Five of Cups in reverse, especially in this spread, the way I'm reading it is you're taking yourself out of the cold. If you're being ostracized, if you're being talked about, if people are again, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and if everyone's throwing theirs at you, hey, we do have a transit of Uranus going on, but you don't need to show me yours, okay? It's almost like you're taking yourself out of the cold, guys. And look at this, and look, oh my God, underneath the Five of Pentacles in reverse, you've got Temperance, and you've got the World. The World is the end of a cycle. And this is a beautiful World card because you got two people in it. Normally it's one person. I do think that you're balancing. It's almost like, gosh, guys, pile one, you're coming across with, normally my pile three, or I keep saying pile. Normally deck three is I get a very new age kind of spiritual vibe from pile three. Again, doesn't have to be every single time. I think anybody who watches, well, Of course, I think anyone who watches tarot is always really enlightened, but that's just me. Sorry, guys. I'm biased. But I love, because when I read your cards, you give me your energy. You give me the beautiful joy of letting me channel your energy, and it's always positive. It's always positive. Even when you're having a craptastic week, your energy is always high vibe. And that's what I'm seeing here, guys. Oh my gosh, you've got 3 major arcanas. And you've got like 3 of the most patient, balancing, like recalibrating kind of majors going here. So you're going to take yourself out of the cold. This is beautiful energy, guys. This is probably the most beautiful reversal of the 5 of Pentacles I've ever seen. And I'm almost kind of getting the feeling like maybe someone's trying to turn up the heat on you. Maybe you're feeling a little down and out. Maybe you feel like a little low on funds, but you're not going to let that dim your shine. And oh my gosh, guys, pile 1, can I be you when I grow up? Because seriously, temperance is about balancing. She has 1 foot on the ground and she has 1 foot in the water. You have 1 foot in your emotions, but you have 1 foot on the ground. And you're pouring, you're alchemating, you're balancing the 2 energies, right? And I do get the sense with the world, this whatever's happening here, this is a closing out of a cycle. If you are cutting off people because of the way that you're treating them, because of the way they're treating you, strike that, reverse it. This is, you know what I'm almost getting is I'm almost getting like a beautiful kind of boundaries with this. And it's almost like you are pouring, you're taking the energy. Someone's trying to extract energy from you and you're not letting that happen. You're putting it back into yourself. You're recalibrating. You're right. The other thing I get is that there is a balance. And the thing that I see here is there's a lot of 1-person cards here, right? The other thing I kind of get with the world is you might have someone around you that's helping you balance. This could be a family member. It could be a trusted friend. Now, one thing that I kind of see with this card, and not to sound funny, but this person here who's holding the world, I almost get the feeling like you're the blonde person, like you're looking down at the world, like you're feeling a little beaten down by the end of the week, guys. You're like trying to keep your balance. You're like, look, I had someone that I trust, talk about me. I'm trying to ignore it. I'm trying to stay in my own energy. I'm not going to allow myself to be put out in the cold. I'm going to balance this energy. This person here who's holding the globe, I really get the sense, and this might just be for a few of you, and again, if it doesn't resonate, don't take the message, but a few of you might have a friend who is transgender. And it's funny, the expression, this person, when I first got this deck, this character did not look like anybody that I knew. But something about the facial structure looks a little masculine to me, even though they're dressed like a woman. So I am getting someone who might be transgender. And now, in a more recent occurrence, this person really looks like Reid to me. Reid is the stylist who created the outfit for IMAN at the 2021 Met Gala. And I'm not a real hoity-toity fashion person, but I was really struck by it because I love IMAN. I just think she is gorgeous energy. And Reid, I follow him on Instagram, her, they, them. I follow them on Instagram, and he's just, they are just such a gorgeous energy. Like, he's a gorgeous energy, and I'm I am feminine. I am a woman, so I don't personally understand the transgender culture, but I do think, and so again, if this resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't, leave it by the wayside. But I am seeing almost like a transgender person here that might be helping you to balance. If not, it could just be a male or female friend. So just assign the gender as it resonates. That's the other way we can read that. But I do think the other thing is that I get that, and this could be a family member, it can be a friend, but it's someone that kind of, The other thing I kind of get with that is that if this is your own energy, you know how there's the saying of being your own man, you know, like sometimes you kind of have to, just like when a king comes up in a spread and you can be a woman in that energy, you know, sometimes you have to be your own support system. And it's almost like you have to toughen your heart. You have to be like a guy. Like, you know, you have to be like, okay, I'm gonna be strong like a king. I'm not gonna be sensitive like a queen, right? Um, and maybe this is the two sides of you, because that's the other thing about temperance. It's balancing. You know, maybe you can be your own defender. That's the other thing too. But I definitely see with the world, you're closing out a cycle. So the other thing I get is towards the end of the week, you really feel like, you know what I'm getting is I'm getting a lot of healing from this. I'm getting a lot of balance. And the other thing I get is that, you know, you're not going to continue to allow yourself to feel this way. You're going to choose to close out this energy, to let this energy go, to balance it out. And I think by the weekend you are going to feel really good. The other thing I get is that I feel like you're moving away from any of that, you know, ostracized energy. Any feeling like you've been put out in the cold, you're like, oh, bunk that. No one has time for that. You're moving away from it. And it's like you're manifesting this with your energy. And that's very powerful, guys. Again, 3 majors. That's a very powerful pile 1. And here we have this number is 4, which also talks about grounding. And here you have Badger Spirit. And again, at the beginning of the reading, again, if you're a Harry Potter fan, if you're of the House of Hufflepuff, because I'm seeing a lot of that golden color too. The other thing is I got feathers here. And it's funny, this type of feather really means that your guardians, if you believe in spirit guides, if you believe of passed over loved ones or just God or the universe or however you define it, that you are very protected. That's the other thing I get here with all these majors. I really feel like you have people, you have spiritual guidance around you that's really helping you cope and helping you heal. But it also says be fearless and be bold. And I'm telling you guys, if you get a chance to check out Harris Reed, I'm not trying to like push you to check out anybody you don't want to, but I really do feel like that energy when I look at their fashion and the way that they express themselves. It's almost like, it's like I am me. That's what I'm kind of getting. I am me. And I'm just going to accept me. I'm going to be me, right? So I do feel like this week, you know, be fearless. I think in the beginning of the week, you might be taking no action. You might be kind of leaning back, and it's an uncomfortable situation, but you're just kind of looking at it. And then by the middle of the week, you're just going to get grounded. Again, that number 4 and that Page of Pentacles. And I do feel like it might be kind of tough. You know, it's always hard when you feel, when you feel like people are talking about you, or you feel misunderstood, or you feel like just like an outsider. Right? But by the end of the week, this is gorgeous energy. You're going to be coming out. You're not going to be completely out of the woods, but you're going to be feeling stronger, and you're going to be balancing that water energy, right? And are we going into an Aquarius weekend? Because that's the other thing. When I see temperance, I think of the water bearer, because that is also 2 water jugs. It's funny, this temperance, no, well, sometimes you see the star pouring water as well, but all right, guys, so that's your read pile 1. This is a good week. It's a good week. I do think that you will have a few challenges, but it is nothing. It's nothing to be worried about, and I definitely think you have a lot of spiritual anchoring going on there. All right, so deck number 2, we've got the Slow Tarot. So let's go ahead and see what's your energy for the week. Make sure my microphone's on. Okay. But that's the other thing, is that my microphone has been real wonky lately. I hope you can hear me. I talk too much. All right, so pile 2. Okay. I'm really drawn to these 2 cards, and this one's kind of poking me. So middle of the week. I'm going to get a sip of water. Sorry, guys. Thank you. I do talk a lot. My jaw gets a little stiff, so if I sound funny. All right. Deck number 2, what's your energy for the week? Wow. Okay. Oh. Okay. I am drawn to take all 3 cards. Wow, we got 2 aces. Wow. Oh, deck number 2. 3 of Cups. Oh, you got a real cerebral man in the mix, pile number 2. 5 of Coins. 6 of Swords. I'm just going to go ahead and take this as an aside because that popped out earlier. Got a lot of cards. Let's go ahead and get your Animal Oracle. Time to let go. This is interesting because the 6 of Swords, if you see this, like the 6 of Swords and Time to Let Go, they're kind of like the same energy, but we'll go ahead and we'll definitely get into that. All right, guys, so beginning of the week, it's interesting. I kind of read this one of 2 ways. I always look at 3 cards in a row as like a flower, like the root, the stem, the bloom. The bloom is the outside energy. It's what you're seeing on, you know, the top card is what you're seeing over the weekend and into the beginning of the week, but the how you got to that energy is the bottom card and the middle card, almost like a flower, you know, the root, the stem, the bloom. So the root, you got the Page of Swords, the stem, you got the Ace of Wands, and then you've got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is really, the Hierophant is a spiritual guidance kind of card, but it is about the status quo as well. It's about following the rules, right? So what I'm kind of getting here is that underneath you've got some very impulsive energy. You've got the Page of Swords, which I absolutely love this. Actually, if you watch the How to Tarot on the Page of Swords, this was one of the cards that I picked. And it's just so cute. You feel the playful energy. It's like, aha, I got you, right? You know, tag, you're it, but she's got like a sharp sword, right? And here you got gray skies in the background. I'm getting a lot of text message energy. I'm getting a lot of message energy. The other thing is with the Ace of Wands, it just seems like it feels like a start to something. You know what I'm almost getting? And you see there's a little salamander here. It almost feels like there's the first energy that I'm getting from this, the first impression that I'm getting is that maybe you're texting someone and it almost feels like a playful, it's almost like a prodding, like a poking, kind of like you're flirting. I feel like you're either flirting with someone or you're talking with someone in a very casual way that it almost feels like, almost like it's like a hidden beginning to something, but it's underneath the guise of you being, you know, reserved. Right? There's something there's subtext. There we go. There's subtext. On the outside, it looks all prim, proper, you know, yes, you know, and this could be at school, this could be at work. But there's something brewing underneath the surface. There's in the everyday conversation that you're having with someone, it seems so formal on the surface, but underneath there's a very playful kind of verbal banter, and it almost feels kind of like exciting. Like it feels like the start of something, right? It almost feels like there's something under the surface. I'll be honest, Pile 2, you might be feeling like a little bit of an attraction to someone, or someone might be texting you and there's a little bit of spark. You know, like underneath the initial purpose of the message, You know what I'm also getting is like maybe the header says something like, okay, meeting on Friday, but you know, or syllabus for this class, but in the body of the message, it's not that. It's playful banter, it's playful talk. It feels kind of exciting. And it can feel exciting in like an I'm getting like an attractive way. Like I'm getting an attractive way. Now, one other way that I can read this is that um, one other way I can read this is if this is not like a relationship, like one on one with someone kind of spark. Yeah, I'm getting 4 of coins. This could be this could be internal talk, like, you know how people in power, people who are of authority, sometimes when you have casual text conversations with someone, like if you're the CEO of a company and you're shooting off a text to your secretary or something, sometimes it can be talk of something that's new, like there's a new project that's being started, but the talk about it is very like it's almost like those expose, emails that you see in the news when someone's like, yeah, we were able to obtain all of the emails that this politician sent to so and so, and look at how they're talking. On the surface they look like they're so mature and they're so about the status quo, but underneath the surface they're sending all these really kind of very, very casual chats, like casual language, almost childish, um, almost like when you would send a text to someone who's aware of a situation. Like if you're about to, if you're the owner of a company and you're about to do a hostile takeover of another company, and you're texting your partner like, hey, when are we going to throw down the money to go buy this company? It's almost like that. But the ace is like, okay, someone's about to take action. But it's almost like on the surface, there's this status quo, this external perception of everything being so structured, but right now there's emails being fired off, there's text messages being fired off, like, hey, did you do this? No, did we did that? Okay, when are you going to get off your ass and do this? It's very casual. So that's one way I can kind of read it. Now, one last way I can kind of read it is that I'm not getting a real strong sense of this, but if you do have a young child, they might be starting like um, some kind of new religious project, because this is over the weekend. If you have a little one, and of course this is if you celebrate Christmas, we are going into the Christmas season. This weekend might be a few of the holiday. So that is one way that we can read it. If someone is really excited about performing in some kind of holiday recital, and it requires, again, this person, your little one, might be real excited to either recite their line or participate in something. It just feels all exciting. Um, one last way I can see it is if you are taking a little one to go get their pictures with Santa. That's entirely possible. You might have someone who's just really excited about doing some kind of holiday thing, because the Hierophant is about like tradition and again, the holiday season if you celebrate Christmas. So by the middle of the week, this is interesting, guys. We've got the Nine of Coins, and in the middle, and the same thing, root, stem, and bloom. We've got the Nine of Coins, and then in the middle, we've got the Three of Coins. And what's interesting is you see a lot of artwork, right? You see a lot of artwork hanging on the walls. Like the Three of Coins looks like someone's commissioning to have art added to the walls. But the root of it is the Seven of Swords. Um, I kind of get this one of two ways. You might feel, again, if this is a business thing, if something big is going on business wise, you might feel like one person's kind of sneaking away. Like as you're communicating, because the Three of Pentacles is really about communication in a business sense. It's like hammering out the details. It can be departments speaking to one another. It can be coworkers like chatting one another to get on the same page, to cooperate. And again, this last week is kind of, if you're in North America, this is kind of the last week before everybody really kind of takes off for the holidays. It does get kind of quiet that last week of December before New Year's. Not many business people are at work, unless, it's hit or miss. Of course, if you're in a service industry, this is on time for you. So, and I appreciate that. I'm not downplaying that at all, because they're the hardest working people in the world. But for bigger businesses that are like, hey, I need to go ahead and finish this week that we're talking about here, the 18th through the 25th, is kind of like that final 11th hour. Okay, let me get everything settled, because everything else is probably not going to get started, pick back up again until after the new year. So what you kind of get is you might actually have a few people sneaking away. I almost kind of see this in a little bit of that. I almost kind of see it in that kind of innocent way, where there's two ways I can read it. The innocent way I can read it is that you might have a few people who are ready to duck out, like they want to start their vacation now, right? Like they're supposed to be there until 5 o'clock on Friday, and then their holiday break begins. But they're already out the door, right? They're like, hey, already got the mail forward on my email. See, have a good year, bye-bye, And you might feel like you're the person who's staying around and doing the work. Like you're the person who's actually there. You're the person who's actually working, right? But what I'm also getting is that I do think that if all and I hate to say it this way, if all the slackers want to, jump out the window, then you're like, okay, bye, I don't think that would be a surprise to you. It's almost like, okay, yes. It's almost like you want to get to your piece. I am kind of getting, Pile, too, that you almost like it when, like, it's like, okay, fine, go. Go ahead and clock out. It's more peaceful without you, right? Like I'm always getting like, okay, you see how this woman who's creating the stained glass almost looks like the same woman. It's almost like, okay, this is when I'm working, and this is when the work is all done and it's quiet and peaceful and I'm happy, right? So it's almost, I'm getting kind of an innocent. I'm not getting like, the Seven of Swords can be the sneaky Pete card. It can be someone who's trying to do someone dirty. But with the Nine of Coins crowning this energy, I almost get like, you almost feel like, what you're doing is, you're the person who's actually still working while other people are clocking out. You might have a few people who are ducking out early this week, and you're just like, oh, okay, shocker. Not to be mean to anyone, but it's like, okay, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. And if you're one of those persons, and you see this lady, she has all the tools in her belt, I think that almost get towards the middle of the week. It's almost kind of like things are winding down. Like, like all the people who are duck out early are starting to duck out. They're starting to throw up the deuces and cut out. But you're still there to communicate and get the work done. I also get that by the middle of the week, by Wednesday, you're just gonna have a few moments of quiet, and it's very peaceful. It's almost like, okay, I have all my work on the wall, you're on call, you're there ready to help, but it's gonna start getting quiet, is what I'm getting, and I kind of get the feeling like you're watching this video at the time it posts. Now, one other way I can read it is, because this is a 7 and this is a 9, I almost get the feeling like someone someone might be trying to kind of like, someone might try to be sneaky, but it's almost like it's very apparent what they're doing. It's very apparent what they're doing. I also get the sense like, what I'm almost getting here is that one by the middle of the week you might have someone who thinks they're being slick, someone who thinks they're being sly, someone you think is trying to get away with something, but it's almost like you can see them a mile away because these two are pentacles, right? It's the physical, it's what's real. What I almost get is that someone might have tried to someone might try to say that they did something, and someone might try to take credit for something, or someone might try to steal an idea, but they're going to get outed. And the way that they get outed is because so the it's almost like, what I'm almost getting is that, like, were you there? No, you weren't. You're trying to say like you did this, but it's almost like you have like a customer or a coworker being like, no, that wasn't your idea. You weren't even there. This other lady was there. And it's almost giving you the credit that's due to you. Like, there's no flies on you in the middle of the week, pile two. Like, if anybody tries to cut out early, it's very clear that you're the person who stayed. If someone tries to say that they did something or take credit for something or try to say that something was their idea, the other coworker or the client that you helped or whoever was there is going to be your witness, and they're going to be like, no, this person did that. You didn't do that. I just kind of get that. And it's going to make you look really good. You're going to be sitting pretty is what I'm kind of getting, guys. And I'm hearing no flies on you. No flies on you. So you're solid by the middle of the week, pile two. And then by the end of the week, this is amazing. You've got an ace of swords and you've got hummingbirds. I'm getting more like verbal. I'm getting a lot of verbal activity. And underneath it, you got the Knight of Wands. Now, what's interesting is you got the Six of Swords and the Five of Coins. Now, by the end of the week, you might have... What I'm really kind of feeling is I really feel like the Knight of Wands is your energy. Guys, I really get the feeling like you're going from the middle of the week, you're going from this kind of relaxed, like, yeah, I earned this, I created all this artwork, and this is probably one of my favorite cards, honestly, in the deck. You're going from that Nine of Coins energy straight into the Knight of Wands. It's almost like by the end of the week, you're kind of like, I'm on to the next adventure. You're on to the next adventure. And underneath it, you've got like the Five of Coins and the Six of Swords. And you see how the Five of Coins is this person who's asking, like, someone who's kind of begging for money. And here you've got someone who's navigating stormy seas, right? I almost get the feeling like you want to move away. By the end of the week, you want to move away from any situation that's making you feel less than. The other thing I kind of get is that I'm almost feeling like you kind of had a close call. Like you might have had a little bit of a close call with the Seven of Swords. Like you might have had someone who was trying to take credit for something that you did. Or either that, or you might, by the end of the week, you might be thinking very... You know what I'm almost getting with, and with your oracle card too, where it says groundhog spirit, and groundhogs work really, really hard, right? They're hardworking animals, and you see he's holding a heart, which it means that you put your heart into what you do, right? When you work for other people, you work hard, right? But I'm almost getting the sense like by the end of the week, pile two, I almost feel like you're getting a little bit of a wild hair, like I work hard. I communicate well. I don't want to feel like I'm always, and it's going from a 6 to a 5. It's almost like you want to move away from any energy that drains you. And the other thing I get is that you want to be excited about what you do. right? I really feel like you work hard, you put a lot of energy into something, because Nine of Pentacles is a class act, guys. You are like, if you're a lady, if you're a woman watching this, you are a lady. You work really hard. And the other thing I get is that you have you have a style about you that's very unique. And you've earned every penny of it, you know? You know what I almost get from this card is like, maybe you work like a, you know, a middle range job. Maybe you're, you know, not upper middle, but, you know, working class. You earn that dollar. And maybe when you get that paycheck, maybe you buy nice clothes, maybe you buy nice jewelry, you dress the way that you want to dress, right? Maybe you have a certain, I'm also getting you have a certain style that is very uniquely your own. And it's almost by the end of the week, you're like, do I want to try something different? Am I tired of this same old where I always just feel like, you know, like I'm drained? You want to move on to something more mentally exciting and something more that excites you. So I am almost getting like over the weekend, and especially as you go into this last week of the year, you are gonna, I really get the feeling you're getting in the energy like, I don't want to continue to feel low energy. I don't want to continue to feel, I want to transition. Again, six of swords and time to let go. I want to move every action, and I almost think that you're like thinking about it, like you're getting epiphanies, you're getting ideas also from the universe, from your guides, from whatever your higher power is really kind of directing you on how to move forward to something that will really excite you, right? Because the other thing is the Nine of Pentacles is a very comfortable place. And look at the difference of this, guys. You have one lady who's sitting in this ornate room that's been all decorated, and then you have a knight who's jumping on his Harley with just, you know, just a walking stick in the backpack, you know, like, okay, let's leave the comfort zone. I think by the end of the week you're going to be thinking about how to leave your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is starting to drain you a little bit, and you want to transition away from that. It doesn't have to be real fast. Doesn't have to be easy rider. Why am I hearing easy rider? but that's your energy pile too, and that's really beautiful. And honestly, as we go into the end of the year, that makes a lot of sense, you know. And you should always, you know, once you've obtained a certain level of you know, once you've obtained a certain level of competency at something, you know, it is okay to move on to something new and exciting. All right, so deck number 3, we have the Tattoo Tarot. Let's go ahead and see what's your energy for the week. Here, I'm going to get a sip of water. Sorry, guys. All right, thank you much. Ooh, flip. Oh, my goodness. All right, you saw that, right? 5 of Wands, the Tower. Oh my God. Oh, holy crapoli. All right. Oh, I did not roll over the card with my chair. Yay me. Okay. Okay, I picked that up in the reverse. We're going to take it as that. Oh, holy crapoli. That's becoming my phrase here. Wow. Okay. Knight of Wands might be our common denominator. I thought it was going to be, what you call it? Coins. All right. I am kind of drawn to take this. Let me go ahead. One clarifier. Ah! All right. Pile 3. What is with your deck? And it just throwing cards all over the place. All over the place. Okay. We had the Hermit in pile 1 too. Or did we? Yes. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Why am I speaking to myself in the third person? Okay, I'm kind of seeing the Queen of Swords, whom in this deck, if I could get this tattoo on my body, I would totally. Either that or the High Priestess. But she was kind of popping out. I'm not going to pull. Should I pull her? Hold on. King of Wands. 2 of Cups. Alrighty then. Okay, I'm definitely kind of getting a relationship vibe here, because I'm kind of seeing the King of Wands, Queen of Swords, 2 of Cups, and Death. Not the greatest combination, but it's not bad. It is what it is. Time for a deep dive. All right. Beautiful thing about swans. On the surface, they look all graceful. Underneath the surface, they are paddling like hell. All right, let's get into this. We were out of focus. Were we out of focus as I was crawling on the floor? All right, so beginning of the week, we got the Five of Wands and we got the Tower. So do not be afraid. There are no bad cards in tarot. And honestly, if you were ever intimidated by any card that you see in any one of my reads, I have a lovely How to Tarot series where you can click on the card in question and get a whole dynamic of the positive and negative and all the different nuances of meaning that that card has for you. So if you ever get scared about a card, and there are no bad cards in tarot, the Tower can be very cathartic. The Tower is about breaking down of structures or things that no longer serve you, the things that are stale, that are driving you crazy, that are making you batshit. The Tower can be a very good purge of the system. It is a little traumatic. It's sudden sometimes. It can be something that's unexpected. And so that is what I'm kind of seeing here, because we've got the Tower, and to crown it, so the outward energy is the Five of Wands. And in this deck, we have two kind of hearts here. And you notice how they're kind of opposite. I am getting a feeling, I'm hearing there are two sides to this. I'm hearing sides. And the way that these wands are crossed, this almost feels like either family. There's either some kind of conflict that's going on with family and you're getting people to take sides. But the way that the wands are crossed, I'm almost kind of getting the feeling like you might be fighting with a family member, and you might have a family member in common. Like, for instance, if you're throwing down with a sibling, like your brother or your sister, your cousin, and then all of a sudden your aunt, your uncle, your parents are in the middle of it. You know, they don't want to choose a side, but they're listening to both of you, right? The other thing is that if this is a marriage, that's the one thing I did kind of see with that, because I saw the King of Wands and I saw the Queen of Swords and the Lovers. Yeah, so this could be like a marriage thing, Two of Cups, where in the beginning of the week there's a little bit of conflict. Now, this close to the holidays, this could be a family thing. Like, it could be you not getting along with your in-laws. But I am kind of getting, when I saw Death and then I saw the Two of Cups and Death popped up again, I do almost get like there's a little bit of, there's conflict, there's butting heads. And I don't know if this is with family members. This could be with family members of your spouse, or it could be with your spouse themselves. But I just feel like there's people, there's common members of your family involved. This could be friends. I'm really getting more like family. Like, there might be kids in the middle, there might be parents in the middle, there might be in-laws, like throwing their opinions around. But we definitely do have the Tower, so I do kind of feel like either something sudden, or that it's either something sudden or that something unexpected kind of hit. And it's really kind of breaking down the situation. And this feels like over the weekend. I am almost getting kind of like a fight vibe, guys. Queen of Wands. And you see all these flames. I kind of see the flames. And there is a woman who's throwing her weight around. And this woman is a fire sign. Yeah, strength. We just got the King and Queen of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of couple here. Now, this could be parents. It could be you and your spouse. I'm seeing the Devil. So there's some kind of commitment. There's some kind of change to something, but it's shaking up your world. But I definitely see yourself fighting the good fight over the weekend. But I do just think, and I'm sorry, Pile 3, I just kind of see some conflict going on here. And I see a lot of action. Like, I don't just feel like this is words. I feel like someone's taking some kind of action. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is karma. Three of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of action going on here. And I get the feeling like there's some kind of middle people, and I don't just think it's one middle person. I think there's other people involved. And I feel like it's either parents or in-laws or not so much children, just I'm not, there might be children involved, but with the wands I'm almost getting like the wands are, the Five of Wands is always about about petty conflict that's of equal energy. So a child going up against an adult is going to be, you know, the adult would have more leverage. Here I'm kind of feeling like, you know, like, yeah, I'm definitely getting like family butting their nose into your business kind of vibes. And it's, but there's a breakdown though, and this, the Tower is a good card. I would say that if you're really worried over your weekend or over into the beginning of the week, I would check out the How to Tarot on the Tower, because that is an excellent video. And I'm not trying to plug myself, but really there's, the Tower is a complex card. I always say in that video, I even say it's almost like, you know how when you reboot your computer when it's acting glitchy as hell, you know, it's like a forced reset. It's like a hard reset. And sometimes that's necessary. And if it's relationship related or family related, sometimes really just rebooting and being like, look, you know, this is not how this is going to go. The other thing about the Tower is, and especially with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, the universe knows the right course of things. And but humans, you know, our souls in corporal form have free will. If the universe is trying to lead us down a path to happiness and we say, nope, I know what's best for me, and then you go with someone else, or you listen to your mom, or you listen to your dad, and believe me, I always listen to my mom. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just saying, you know, if you get influenced by someone and you go down a wrong path, you know, the Tower is sometimes that hard reset. It kind of breaks down the faulty foundation so you can build again the way that it should be. It's just it's tumultuous. It's tumultuous. Now, by the middle of the week, so I don't want you to be too worried about this. I do think the thing about the Five of Wands, yeah, and I keep seeing the Lovers, and then we had the King of, this might be fighting with someone. It might be fighting with someone's family. It might be fighting with another person. But I feel like this is either, I am getting lover vibes. Like I am getting like this is a fight. This is petty conflict, butting heads with a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend. And it might involve family. It might involve their family or yours. Or just everyone might be taking sides. But by the middle of the week, we got more Wands energy. This is going to be like a real, everybody's flaming on. Like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm hearing that Beastie Boys song. Is it Intergalactic? Flame on, I'm gone. I'm so sweet, like a nice bonbon. That's what I'm kind of hearing. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. All of you, everyone involved has a strong sense of self. So the reason that this conflict is not dying down anytime soon, it's almost like the flames, or, you know, the flames will be burning for a while. I think you might have a lot of fiery characters in this dynamic here. Because we saw the King and Queen of Wands. You definitely have a few. You know what, I'm getting like an ego clash too, guys. I'm almost getting like egos are getting involved. And that's why this, you know, normally the Tower can come in, blow down, you know, huff and puff and blow your house down, and then it goes. But anytime, yeah, it sometimes lingers when you got fire signs involved, just because they want to be right. They want to be right, and they're not going. The other thing is that, well, the cool thing about fire signs is that they don't really hold a grudge, but there's a lot of pride. Pride is rough when you're trying to communicate or negotiate. There's not a lot of swords here, guys. I don't think you have any Aquarians or Libras in the house. I sure as hell don't think you have any Gemini. If you had and I'm sorry, guys, I don't mean to be rude, pile 3. If you have a few air signs in the mix, you might have a little bit of diplomacy. I think this might be dueling egos. So, but But the other thing is that there's a lot of passion in it too, which is not a bad thing. That's the beautiful thing about, and that is the beautiful thing about fire signs. I will be the first to admit, I am sun sign Libra. Every Aries I have ever met, they can be really aggressive. They can be a little arrogant sometimes. But if you show them that you are of equal energy and that you're not going to back down, if you almost like a ram, if you kind of headbutt them and be like, look, you're being an asshole, then they'll be like, okay, I like you. You know, they don't really hold a grudge too much unless they have Scorpio in their chart and then, you know, run. But I'm sorry, guys, not to go off on a tangent. Middle of the week. So there's definitely some fire energy here, but definitely bear that in mind. Fire energies they'll flame up. Like when you first light up your grill, they'll flame up and then they'll die back down again. They don't hold grudges. But there is some pride involved, so don't hurt anybody's pride. Otherwise, then this will get dragged out way longer than it needs to. The middle of the week, you got the Eight of Wands and you got it in reverse. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that you want to move forward. You know what? I'm almost getting the sense like in the beginning of the week, you know what, pile 3? I'm almost getting the feeling like you have fire in your chart and that you did not obey well, okay. I get a feeling like pile 3, like you have fire in your chart and you're dealing with someone who has fire in their chart and your pride got hurt, so you didn't back down. So, but you're also not going to be a doormat either, is what I'm hearing. Don't be a doormat. You know, they hurt my pride. Screw them. You know, so now it's almost like the Eight of Wands in reverse. It's almost like you cannot move forward because of this conflict. You're blocked, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And again, it might be, it's like action cannot be taken. The other thing I kind of get is that if everybody cooperated, this would go like seamlessly. It would be all systems go. It would be like all the arrows in the air. Like Eight of Wands is all arrows going the same direction. All 8 arrows are not going the same direction. It might very well involve 8 parties. I'm getting more like 5 people, including yourself. But I get the sense like I feel like you're the Knave of Wands. Well, I read this one of 2 ways. Either your plans are blocked because of a Knight of Wands character. If you were a mom or a parent, this could be like a real fiery male child who they don't necessarily have to be in their early 20s. This is usually like an early 20s energy. It's a shit ton of energy. Pardon my French. But so your plans might be blocked from someone like a young adult who's real fiery. They don't necessarily have to be a fire sign, but they have like that energy in their aura. Or if this is your energy, someone is blocking you, and you see how he has flames going on. It's almost like you're boiling, like you're ready to go forward. You're ready to go forward and you're being blocked, and it sucks. And you're mad. It's almost like the Knight of Wands, you know, it's funny. You can block the King of Wands and he'll have a mature response. You can block the Queen of Wands and she'll probably look down on you a little bit, but she's not gonna do anything real crazy. If you try to block the Knight of Wands, damn, you know, that's like bottling up a firecracker. You know, that's what I'm almost kind of getting. Like you're again, you're kind of fuming. You're ready to go, but you're still blocked by the middle of the week. And I get the feeling it's because you're either waiting for some kind of foundation to crumble or you're still at cross purposes with someone. The other thing is I do get the sense like someone's pride is hurt. Maybe someone is kind of blocking you for petty reasons. That might be the other thing. They might be trying to, well, I get the feeling like someone might be out for what they want, and it's holding up your plans. And you're raring to go, though. You're raring to go. It's almost like, okay, if we could stop fighting about this petty crap, you know, things would go, right? Now, by the end of the week, we got the 6 of Coins. So we're finally getting into some earth energy, which is really good. It's interesting in feng shui, fire like creates earth. There's something called creative cycles and destructive cycles. I almost think of it like a volcano. Like, you know, when a volcano erupts, when the lava cools, it becomes that real supple earth that grows, you know. Um, that's what I'm almost kind of seeing here by the end, and that's good. That's a good sign. But by the end of the week, you've got the Six of Coins, which really talks about this card. The imagery is really beautiful because it shows one letter being handed to another, and the imagery is really balanced. Sometimes the Six of Pentacles can look a little imbalanced, like one person has more money and is by the grace of their charity is giving it to the person who needs it the most. But here it looks a lot more balanced. Here I think you might actually be getting word. I didn't see anything about a legal confrontation. I'm really seeing this with yeah, I keep seeing the Two of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Here we actually have the King of Coins. I think you have a few players in this. You have a few players, and I feel like they're higher up people. I really get like family members. But but by the end of the week, I think that you're going to be given a fair turn. I think you're actually going to get I think this blockage is going to be it's going to start to open up. Like you're going to get some kind of message, and I feel like it's either going to be an email. I don't think it's a physical letter, but some kind of message that you're going to be given. You're going to be given your fair share. It's almost like you're by the end of the week you're going to get a message saying, okay, you deserve to have this money, or you deserve to have this incentive, right? But the one thing underneath that is you've got the Emperor in the reverse and you got the Hermit. Now, this is a little bit disconcerting. The Emperor in the reverse is a very controlling male. It's almost like it is almost like the dominant king. It's like the war. I think Genghis Khan a little bit, right? It's the man who gets anything at any costs, right? He's a little bit, and also if you want to How to Tarot, the second part of the video is about the Emperor in reverse. He's a little bit of a scary character. It is downright controlling. So what this might be is this could very well be you getting your just desserts by taking it. Like you commanding it, like you extracting it. And then it's almost like I do feel like you know what I almost get? I almost feel like you feel a little bit guilty about this. It's almost like you have to force someone's hand in order to get fairness, in order for you to get what you deserve, what you say, like, I deserve this. And then it's almost like you're going to immediately pull into yourself and think about those actions. Like, I almost get the feeling like this is your energy pile 3. Like, you might have to force somebody to do the right thing. The other thing I get is that you might have to unthrone an emperor. And I know that sounds crazy. You might have to take someone off their throne. And this might be a man that you respect. And you might be thinking about it. It's almost like you have to pull into yourself and go, God, why did we have to go to that length? Why did I have to, I think I'm hearing you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, then I see the Fool. And it is almost like you're going to force your hand, guys. You're going to force your hand. You're coming from a place of wisdom with it, like you know what you're doing, but you do know that it is a little bit of it's a power play, is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a power play, but I see it working in your favor. I see you getting what you set out to do, but yeah, death has come up for about 5 times. I think you might have to get a little cutthroat by the end of the week, guys. I don't think this is anyone being cutthroat with you. You might have to get cutthroat with a Queen of Wands character. This might be a woman. I'm seeing judgment and death. So that's nothing to be scared of. It's just I do feel like all of us have those moments where we really have to put our foot down, and you might feel bad doing it. You might feel like you're being a tyrant. That's what I'm kind of getting. You might feel like you're being a tyrant and doing it. But look at this card. It's completely equal. You know, 3 coins for you, 3 coins for me. Both hands are equal. There's a communicate. It's a settlement. I'm hearing settlement. You know? The other thing I kind of get is that maybe this might be taking away, like you might be taking away from someone's power by insisting on this, by pushing for this settlement, and you might think about it afterwards. Like, if it almost feels like afterwards you just want to pull it within and just kind of be alone, you know? The other thing I kind of get is after all this drama, you don't want to be bothered with anyone. You don't want to. The other thing I get is that you probably, once this finalizes, once you get your kind of justice by the end of the week, you don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to talk to anyone who's going to try to push you around. You don't want to talk to any of these people who caused you all this drama. And that's what I kind of feel like. Like, maybe you turn your phone off, you know? I also get the feeling like you're not really, I feel like you're going to unplug by the end of the week, guys. Like, you're not even going to watch TV or watch your phone. You're just kind of, I feel like silence. Like, you just want to be alone and quiet. The other thing I get is that by the end of the week, if you're watching this at the time the video posts, it is the Christmas holiday, and the star in his lantern, maybe you're just going to sit in the dark and look at your Christmas tree. You know, I feel like you're sitting and just gonna, I almost get the feeling like you're gonna let your mind blank out, you know, like, okay, it's over. The other thing I get is that if you are angering some kind of tyrant person, like you might have had to insist on fairness from someone, and it might have angered someone, like you might be bringing the ire with someone that in power, but you're gonna, and I feel like it's a woman. I feel like it's a real controlling woman. You might have burned a few bridges, guys, but by the end of the week, it's almost like you're just going to turn your phone off and you're like, it's Christmas. I'll worry about you on Monday. God, that's damn pile 3. I'm sorry. I hate to say it that way, but I don't think that it's, if the Emperor in reverse is your energy, you had to do what you got to do, and you're not real proud of it, but you know it's the right thing, and you're gonna be at peace with it. And your Oracle card really talks about that. It says time for a deep dive, you know, right? And remember, we talked about how the swan looks so graceful on the surface, but underneath they're paddling like crazy. You've had a lot of activity. This is a lot of activity. And by the end of the week, this is kind of beautiful. I really feel like whatever is due to you is going to come to you. If you have to pay to someone else, you're going to pay to someone else. And there's just, over the weekend, over the holiday, there's going to be peace. You know, there's going to be that moment of just quiet, right? The other thing is time for a deep dive really does speak of the Hermit. You know, that's what the Hermit does. He goes up to the mountaintop to analyze what happened, to analyze his experiences, to analyze his feelings, and to just come to terms with, again, I'm hearing it is what it is. It is what it is. But I don't think it's a bad week, guys. I do think it's really action-oriented, but I honestly get the feeling like you're used to this, guys, because the other thing is the Emperor is an Arian. It's an Aries energy. So I don't think that's a bad read at all. Definitely some action there. But by the end of the week, it should be very peaceful, and I'm very glad for that. But all right, guys, so that was your read. I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can join me next week. It will be the last video on my channel for the weekly energy card reading. So it should be a good one. We'll wrap it up in a very fun way. But I hope that you have a good week, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.